first of all, I'm actually curious. Is it Carnegie or Carnegie? Because I've heard it both ways.
I have heard it that way on PBS and NPR, and then I've heard Carnegie.
NPR.
Like Carnegie. Yeah, okay.
Specifically, they always say Carnegie.
Yeah.
And
but I hear Carnegie Hall.
Right.
This is a great question. Hello, and welcome to The Book Drop, Omaha Public Library's podcast about books, our community, and the joy of reading. I'm Maggie Peterson. I'm the outreach manager for Omaha Public Library, and I'm joined as always by
Amy Bather, the partnerships manager for Omaha Public Library. Hi, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. You look great in your sweater.
Thank you.
It is my favorite. Listeners, Amy is wearing a sweater beautifully handmade by a friend.
Sarah Jane.
And it looks like the old style library checkout sheets that used to be in books in the olden times. And I am obsessed.
I know. She wants one too.
I do.
Wants one, Sarah
Amy's
Jane.
friend, do you take commissions? Please say yes. Don't say no. I'll be over after we get done recording.
Well, she lives in Chicago. So we'll go visit.
Okay.
All
right.
Another field trip.
Speaking of which, we are not on our home turf this week. We are in a weird little limbo spot. We are in a different podcast studio in a different city because we have a very special guest today. Guest, who are you?
This is Nicole from Rooted in the Plains.
Nicole. This is the most serendipitous, most wonderful time of our lives.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah.
So we are in...
We're in Lincoln. We're at UNL.
I know.
In the Anderson
Hall,
which is the journalism building?
Yes,
or one of the journalism buildings?
It's a cool building.
The journalism college.
Oh.
Like the Ohio State University.
And-
the journalism
Yes.
college.
I mean, it's not trademarked like they are, but...
Right.
I don't know anything about football. I just know I really enjoy anytime they're doing the football player introductions and they go, the Ohio State University. And I just start saying that around other stuff.
I know.
And people have to put up with me.
With,
Husker colors.
Yes, exactly.
It is very huskery in here. So we took a little field trip today, but it did get my mind going. On our way down here, I kind of prompted Amy about this, and I wanted to ask you, Nicole, this too. That reminded me, did you have any memorable field trips you took as a kid?
Well, okay, so Nicole grew up in a small town about an hour from here.
Where'd you grow up?
Plymouth.
Oh, okay. I am aware.
So
okay.
that answer just...
Okay, no. But here's the thing. I am aware of Plymouth, Nebraska or Plymouth, Kansas. Okay, because there's also Plymouth, Kansas. I was aware of Plymouth, Nebraska because I went to study abroad in Plymouth, England.
Oh.
And
look
so
at
then
you.
anytime I would see like Plymouth stuff here, like in Nebraska, because I would randomly just find something that says Plymouth on it and be like, oh, Plymouth. So I am aware. Never been. How much? What's the pop?
400.
Okay.
Oh,
So I was like, what?
Like, what do you mean?
I mean, there's like one paved street. I mean, maybe
Right.
two. We have no stop lights.
Sure.
Signs, but no lights. So, so to come to Lincoln was a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, it's an hour drive.
The big city.
So, we go to I think we went to the zoo at least a couple times.
I've never been to the zoo
Capitol.
here.
Wait a minute. I'm so sorry. Wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
Are you serious? You've never been to the zoo?
Here in Lincoln.
Oh, my God. I was
Omaha
like...
Zoo, yes. But not Lincoln
Amy's
Zoo.
a transplant. I'm so sorry. I was just like, hold on.
No, I've been to the Omaha
How have you never?
But I keep forgetting
So
Lincoln
sorry.
has a zoo.
Yeah. So a few years ago, I'm not good at years sometimes.
It's okay.
That
Time
was-
is meaningless. No, we feel you.
okay, before 1920.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they expanded.
Sure.
So, it was a great little zoo. It's even better now.
Oh.
So,
Okay, so you grew up here
yeah.
in Plymouth.
Well,
Regionally.
regional. Yeah.
Yes. So field trip to...
Zoo, Capitol,
Yeah.
Nice.
places like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up in West Virginia, and I actually don't really have a memory of taking field trips, but we did take a lot of walks in the woods.
I love that for you.
There's a lot of woods around. I mean, we're in mountain territory, so our principal would be like, "This is poison ivy, so you want to stay away from this. This is this tree name. This is this plant name." When I was little, it seemed like a very huge hike, but it really wasn't.
Much more significant in your head.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think we ever actually took a trip to the Capitol, but I will have to ask my mom because I don't really have a memory of it. But that would make sense because I don't know if there was a lot of money for school to kind of sort of do that for kids. I don't know. I don't know.
I do feel like we've talked about this, that it's like you're Gen X, I'm millennial.
Yeah.
And a lot of things, it's like we have a lot of crossover in some of our experiences. And then I think for some, it's like we were just off the cusp. I do think field trips became more of a thing in the 90s.
Sure. And you know what else didn't exist in grade school for me was all these talent shows and plays and all this other stuff. None of that in my grade school. No. We went to class and we walked home. We walked there and we walked.
I feel like that needs a womp womp.
A womp.
The Charlie Brown sad song.
But I will tell you, but the cafeteria rolls. Do you? I love my school lunches.
I do too. I would love it.
They
Yes.
were like homemade yeast rolls.
Yep.
I actually
can't duplicate it.
I'm going to put this article in. I have an article about these rolls.
I'm going to find an article about the square pizza that I remember from the 90s.
Yes.
Square shaped pizza.
Yep.
Delicious.
Don't we have square pizza?
I'm sure it still exists. Well, I think technically any
Orsi's.
pizza you can cut to square.
No, Orsi's.
Orsi's will do a square cut. La Casa does just large rectangle-sized pizzas, which is polarizing. I am a La Casa girl. I'm a La Casa defender. And I'll throw hands with anybody.
Oh my God, can't find her.
I'll fight about pizza with somebody. I'm looking to fight. So,
all right.
yeah. Oh, but which does remind me, my most memorable field trip was actually to Lincoln as a kid. So I had to Google it to find it for sure. I swore it was a thing that Nebraska fourth graders. Well, I do know you'd mentioned it's like Nebraska fourth graders specifically spend a lot of their year learning about Nebraska history.
Yes,
that's like a thing for statewide curriculum. And I swore it was a thing that it's like, and every fourth grader gets to take a field trip to Lincoln and go to the Capitol. As I'm looking at online, it looks like it's strongly encouraged. But for some fourth graders, obviously distance, if you're in Western Nebraska, a field trip like that doesn't work. But they will do a virtual trip to the Capitol. They'll do like a virtual tour. Sure. So it's strongly encouraged if you can. So I remember going on my fourth grade field trip to Lincoln. My dad was one of the chaperones. And I remember going to see the Mammoth. I remember, because what hall is that the Mammoth is at?
It's at Morrill Hall.
Morrill Hall, okay.
But, I mean, we also call the Elephant Hall.
Okay. Because I remember distinctly going there, and they had some very interesting thing about indigenous populations. I remember, these really, hands-on exhibits that were amazing. They were really fun. I remember specifically getting rock candy in the gift shop afterwards. And I very distinctly remember we went to Valentino's Buffet for lunch.
Yeah.
And that was my first time going to, a lunch buffet. I'd been to a breakfast buffet before at Field Club. What a bougie little child. But it was a very significant trip for me. I loved doing the Lincoln trip, and I loved eating at the Valentino's Buffet, apparently, a lot. And
good memories.
Yeah, and honestly, did a great job of... I do distinctly remember learning so much on that trip about Nebraska history and the connection to the Capitol, which was great because we needed to go on a field trip today. Yeah. Because we needed to come to Nicole. So, Nicole, when you reached out to us, first of all, I should say that you reached out to us because you have a podcast.
Yeah.
What is your podcast?
So it's called Rooted in the Plains, and I cover the Great Plains history before 1920.
Okay.
So, it's just, I wanted to kind of take history, but take it past 100 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's just pick a date and go back.
Yeah.
People know that, I don't know. There's 100 years, but
Yeah.
But also, that's a broad time frame. So, it gives me a lot of material to deal with. Mm-hmm. The Great Plains, also a lot of time, but also a lot of space to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's open the door.
Love it.
We're not flyover country. So
thank you.
Let's share all of the great things that we have here.
Mm-hmm. I think Nebraska is phenomenal, and I've lived a lot of places, and it is truly, I always say that it's, I'm so connected to this place.
Yeah.
I really do.
You were pulled here.
I was pulled here. For sure.
Yeah.
I love it here.
So you did, though, an episode that, well, I'm going to just kind of tease it right now because I don't want us to jump straight to it. But you had an episode theme that tied in really well with what we do at the library. So you reached out just kind of looking for ways to kind of get the word out there that you had done this episode. And Amy and I turned around and said, well, do you want better? Do you want to be a guest? Because we like doing things. And then it just so happened that when we needed to record was when we were without a podcast studio. And so we desperately were like, can we come to you? And you were so nice to host us.
Yeah,
so we got to take, Amy, you did get to take a field trip to Lincoln.
I know.
Like a true Nebraskan.
I'm so excited to be here.
It's delightful.
I love it.
So tell us more about your podcast. How did it actually get started?
And what was the inspiration? Like, what was the spark? I love hearing the spark for that idea of like how it evolved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, I'm from a small town in southeast Nebraska.
Yeah.
All 4 branches of my family have. So in doing my little research, I was like, ooh, let's get down to the brass tacks here. So as I was discovering this, all 4 branches of my family have been living within a 50-mile radius of each other since 1900.
Wow.
Or before that.
Okay.
So like looking at like my parents and then like my grandparents, like all 4 branches, 50 miles of each other.
Wow. Okay.
Crazy.
That's actually that's very close.
Yeah. In southeast Nebraska. So my Great Plains roots are pretty deep.
Yep.
I've always been interested in the regional history from the turn of the century and before. So I'm kind of that weird person on a trip, and I will find something that we're going to stop and see.
Right.
And so like there's going to be some history involved in something. Sorry, family. Then also they're like, okay, so tell us what this thing is. Yeah. And then I'm like, can I just enjoy it? They're like, but tell us what it is.
Teach us.
I'm like, okay, fine. So this is actually blah, 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 and we do this thing. And then they're like, oh, that was actually kind of cool. I'm like, yeah, history's cool. So yeah, it's
a little
fantastic.
micro.
Yeah.
A little micro
So, like,
storytelling. Yeah.
So I was discussing this potential project with a professor. I am finishing my bachelor's degree. 2 more months.
Yay!
And I described it as a narrative podcast exploring the history and the experiences of the Great Plains before 1920. The idea was to bring to life the voices, landscapes, and movements that shape the region through storytelling and research. I planned 8 episodes with a corresponding Instagram to bring them the visuals. There we go, for visuals. The idea came to me probably 2 years ago on a walk around Holmes Lake, where I like to listen. This is where I get really like weird and quirky in my head. It sounds kind of weird and quirky. So I like to listen to the sound of the tall grass and the wind.
Oh my God, I love it.
Okay, so when Amy and I went to Okay, Margie, here's one more. Bitch. Okay, listen. So, Amy and I, when we went to the Willa Cather, Willa Cather
Foundation.
Yeah. We went to the Memorial Prairie, which, have you been to the Memorial Prairie? Okay.
But
it was so beautiful. It was autumn. So we went with the full intention of like, we're just going to go and all we're going to do is just stand there with the mic and just get the sound of the prairie. And it was just like the moment of zen to close out the episode. And it was unnervingly beautiful. It was just silent, and it's like you could just hear the wind in the grass, and
it's
the 1 million bugs that we weren't really sure what they were, but they got in the car. Yeah. Anyway, so we're right there with you. Yeah, that's not weird. It was a beautiful moment.
Okay, well, good. So I like to listen. So there's some grass. I mean, it's not like official tall grass. But it's like there's some tallish grass. Yeah. And so they don't mow it on the sides of the like dam where we walk. So you can just like hear it rustling. And if I'm really lucky, I can hear some red-winged blackbirds.
Yes, I love them.
And it just has that sound of the prairie to me. And so there's some trees and kind of this little cove that sometimes when we're kayaking there, I like will stop and you can hear them. And so I will just like go by those trees and just like stand and listen. And it just like kind of calls me back to like what I would imagine if I was like living in the prairie and like, oh, okay, thank you. Like just kind of like brings you back to center. Yeah. Like it's just like calming to me. So I like tucked these notes on my phone and was like, oh, how cool would it be to be like do a podcast where I like covered these things and like shared these ideas and like kept it there for a while. And then all of a sudden I was like, I got to do this like final project thing. And like, that could be an independent study. And then my teacher was like, no, you should just like do it for your capstone and like do this thing. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. So here we are.
I love it.
So officially it launched last August. And before the semester was even over, season 2 is now. And
Yeah,
That's
season 2,
amazing.
baby.
yeah,
That's a huge milestone.
Yeah.
that's how it started.
And it's a great name. I love
So-
Yeah.
the name of your podcast.
It's beautiful.
And we got a sticker, folks.
The episode you reached out to us about is Carnegie Libraries.
Yeah.
We were so excited. So it is a natural fit of reaching out. So it sounds like you reached out to a few different libraries in the state to just kind of promote it. And we were just lucky enough that we were one of them. So when we knew it was going to be about Carnegie Libraries, it's like, well, it's such like a nice fit. And other fun fact, Amy and I, we work for the library. I know. Amy, how much do you know about Carnegie Libraries?
I mean, I know a little bit. First of all, I'm actually curious. Is it Carnegie or Carnegie? Because I've heard it both ways.
I have heard it that way on PBS and NPR, and then I've heard Carnegie.
NPR.
Like Carnegie. Yeah, okay.
Specifically, they always say Carnegie.
There's,
And
but
then
I
I'm
hear
like-
Carnegie Hall.
Right.
This is a great question. Nicole?
Yes.
I also hear Carnegie.
Okay.
Okay.
But, I mean, he is a Scottish immigrant, so maybe
Right.
it's
Carnegie.
part of the,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, just kind of losing
dialect.
the dialect.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know basically nothing. So insight into the life of an OPL employee in yesteryear, you would take something called NEO, which is called New Employee Orientation. You would do that when you were hired. It was like an all-day thing, and you would get the basic training you would need for information for working for OPL, but they would also go a little deep dive into each of the branches, and so you could get like the history, which was great. And in yesteryear, it used to be anytime you got promoted, you had to go to NEO. So a lot of it was repeat information, but I always enjoyed getting to hear the history stuff again. And I knew for a fact that they would bring up that one of our branches was at one point a Carnegie library, but that it wasn't anymore because that whatever that library was now incorporated, and there's a different building there now. And I remember them explaining to me what a Carnegie library was, and then that information left my brain almost immediately each time. And so then when you reached out for this, I also very specifically did no research so I could be properly educated. Because I have to tell you, my favorite, when I think of like podcasts that I really enjoy, it's when they're kind of educating me. It is just kind of the idea of somebody just telling me something that they researched, that they know a lot about. And that is kind of what Rooted in the Plains is. So you do like a little mini research project for each of these episodes.
So I probably know a hair more, but
You know a whole head of hair more than I do. I got to tell you, I got
I'm
nothing.
a deep diver. I skim all topics. So was he still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still
So he made his money in steel.
Okay.
And then really wanted to invest back in the community and have public libraries so people, anybody can
Just
learn.
believed in the concept of a public
For
library.
sure. And built them everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're so grateful for that because we love libraries and we want folks to come in and be able to learn, to take wherever their imagination takes them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, Nicole,
Tell us more.
tell us from your perspective.
Tell us the roots.
Educate us about this.
Let me tell you the story.
Hit me.
Okay, so there'll be a little repeat from Amy because she spoiled it now. So now you guys,
That's all I do.
Spoiler alert, he likes libraries.
wow, now we know. Great. Now what are we gonna talk about?
Amy, we're not going to Valentino's anymore.
Wow.
No.
So Andrew Carnegie was a steel tycoon who became one of the wealthiest men in America. He believed that rich men had a moral duty to give away their fortune during their lifetimes.
Wow.
He wrote an essay called The Gospel of Wealth, where he argued that you should fund institutions to help people help themselves.
Oh,
And to Carnegie, libraries were the perfect institution to do that.
I love it.
I swear I saw that book in our collection, and I am now putting it on hold if it does exist. Give me the title again. What was it?
Gospel of Wealth.
Okay.
Okay, I'll write it down too.
He started small in the 1880s, but then around 1899 to 1900, he shifted into funding libraries by the hundreds. By the time his program ended, he had funded over 1,600 public libraries in the United States.
Wow. Okay.
There are only 2 states that never received grants to build them.
Oh.
Do you want to guess?
Huh.
Well, Alaska and Hawaii?
Yeah, I know. I would say that.
Half.
Oh.
Okay.
I know. I also kind of thought that. And then I was like, wait a minute. Let me think. Okay. So one of those is right.
One of those is right. I'm going to guess Alaska.
Okay.
What would be the other state? New Mexico?
Delaware.
Oh, I was going to guess Vermont. That feels like closely adjacent. Okay.
I don't know why I said New Mexico.
I know. Well, I was actually going to say Texas, the other one.
I know,
so
it's like
I'm like,
Arizona.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. I was just like, that's fascinating.
was
Yeah.
there any particular reason that you can find?
I didn't go too deep into it, but I was
Sure.
like, yeah. Oh, and fascinating. I mean, I just thought that was really interesting,
yeah.
but no.
Okay.
So,
Now we know a little trivia.
There we go.
right?
I just assumed Alaska because it would be, I'd have to imagine the time when this was
Yeah,
happening, it would have been
exactly.
hard to build, like,
I
with
just
the,
thought
the elements.
because of when they became states is what I was thinking.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
thought
no,
that
that's exactly
too, and
it. But
I
then when
was
you said
like,
just one of the two, then I'm like, well, I guess I would think it would be harder to build in Alaska just because of the elements.
yeah. So no, they said that Hawaii got in just on the nick of time. So the formula was straightforward. The town had to provide the land free and clear,
Okay.
and commit to spending 10% of the grant amount every year for maintenance and operations. Carnegie only paid for the building itself, not books, not salaries,
Okay.
nothing ongoing.
Okay, so just like the facility.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they had to have that amount. So however much they asked for, they had to have that much already.
Okay.
So
okay.
if they asked for 5,000, they had to have 500
Right.
ready for these other things for every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nebraska got 69 of these libraries between 1901 and 1922.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a lot for 1901 to 1922.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Wow.
How many was that again?
69.
Oh, jeez.
And
Okay.
was 1600
crazy.
built?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what makes our story special is that we had the second highest per capita
Oh,
Yeah.
in the entire nation,
interesting.
behind
So Nebraska.
Wyoming.
Oh,
Interesting.
per capita then it would make sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So I've got some little fun stats if we want to talk
Yes.
stats
Yes.
later.
We love
So-
stats.
So,
Give us weird numbers.
so we can talk about those later if you want. Little, I love it.
We're just all nerds here. This is so great. It's going to be a great day with you guys.
So it really came down to the perfect storm of 4 things that happened exactly at the right time. First, the 1893 Chicago World's Fair brought women
World's Fair.
from across America together, and they created networks that became women's clubs. Nebraska women came home energized and ready to organize.
Go.
Yeah, girls. Go, girls.
So, which has been a funny thing because the first episode that I did in January with my daughter, we talked about the Chicago World's Fair
Yeah.
and how that women's, they did like a women's expo. And from that, they came home to start talking about the state symbols.
Yeah.
So our episode was about state symbols and the Great Plains state symbols. And then it was like, I just feel like some of the latest episodes, we've also been talking about the World's Fair. So it's just been like these weird little ties. So also then it was like the women's club started doing library things. It's been really weird.
Yeah.
Amy and I have recently gotten into the world of like state and county fairs
Yeah,
and the
and women.
contribution of
I
women
listened
and
to
the celebration of
A book
their
that
art.
just came out that I was fascinated to hear how women really raised the, I mean, it just, how they activated through the state fair culture. And I've loved it. And it is Women's History Month. Right?
Women's History Month, guys.
I know.
Love that for us. This is so good.
point.
See, it's all crazy.
Yeah.
Second, so you had women's clubs organizing across the state. So women like Belle Startenborough, who literally traveled Nebraska promoting what she called the library way, convincing communities they needed libraries.
Love it.
Third was a woman named Edna Bullock, who would just not give up. She drafted library legislation starting in 1897. She kept lobbying the legislature year after year through failures until 1901 when she got the Nebraska Library Commission started.
Okay, I was going to say that name. Where have I seen that name? And yeah, I'm pulling it up. I think there's maybe a scholarship or something with her name still on it. There's something. I just feel like I always see the name Edna Bullock.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then fourth, the timing. So the commission opens in November of 1901, right when Carnegie was entering his wholesale phase and funding libraries by the hundreds.
Wow.
So it was like perfect timing to take advantage of that money.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So go Nebraska.
It's like perfect storm of just, all these like perfect little things lining up to make this happen.
So the commission did something really smart. They ran these traveling libraries, small book collections that would circulate to the towns. The people would fall in love having books, and then the town would realize they needed to make it permanent. So they would apply for Carnegie grants. The results were dramatic. By 1922, Nebraska had 123 public libraries. 69 of those, so a little more than half, were Carnegie libraries. Wow. Women's clubs were instrumental in establishing 46 of those 69 libraries.
Hey. Thanks, ladies.
So it was fundamentally a women's movement.
Yeah, absolutely. So just one thing on the top of my head, because we talked about that there was 69 of them. Were these like primarily in like smaller communities, or was there any kind of trend of where a lot of these would be end up being set up?
And how many are left?
So technically there were 68 grants, but one of the grants funded 2 libraries.
Okay.
Carnegie's total investment in Nebraska was approximately $720,000.
That's huge.
So adjusted for inflation would be tens of millions of dollars today. Yeah. Current status of Nebraska's libraries: 14 have been demolished, so about 20%. 36 have been repurposed. 19 are still operating as libraries.
Okay.
So 55 of them are still standing.
Another field trip.
We're just going to hit all of them.
We have 3 in Lincoln that are still standing.
Do you really?
Yes. So I actually have, on my Instagram, I have 2 reels that I went and like filmed outside of them. And then I give a little history about those 2 of those.
Will you send us a link? Because then we can put a link to it in our show docs.
Yeah. So they just had to have, funding, like city tax funding to be able to cover those. Yeah. I know that they didn't, like Omaha didn't really, like city proper didn't have them because they were big enough to not.
Sure.
Yeah. I know there were some application constraints to larger cities to not have them. But then you also had to have population and
it's just like
money
the algorithm, as it were back then. We talked about how Omaha did not have a Carnegie library, but it kind of did in that it was a town that just wasn't annexed yet.
Right.
Which was
South Omaha.
Which was its own town back then.
Right. So the book that I used a lot for kind of my source of like the Nebraska town information, I guess, is a book. It's from 2005, so not super new, but like historically it's got
I was going to say that information is probably still accurate.
Great information. Yeah. Like the details of like the current state of the libraries is not current.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh,
vibes have changed.
That's not right. But hey, whatever. So historically, it's great information. So South Omaha was a separate town in Douglas County until 1915. So, I guess I was going to mention the book. It's called The State of Readers, Nebraska's Carnegie Libraries. It's by Oliver Pollock.
And we do have it in the Omaha Public Library Connection.
I know Oliver.
So, so I thought it was great. It shows a beautiful picture of the library.
Oh,
so you can see.
It is pretty.
Them.
Does it mention where? Does it mention like intersection or anything of where it was?
Is it on 24th?
Let's.
Because is the building still there?
25th and N.
Yeah.
An N.
So
Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah, it is
24th. I remember visiting that library before they moved over.
It's this. They made several attempts in maintaining a subscription library housed in a drugstore at 25th and N.
Okay.
And a music store at 24th and N. And a small building owned by Dr. Glasgow.
Okay.
And it was open from 6:30 to 10 p.m. on weekdays.
What?
And 1 to 5:30 on Sundays. And the 1909 annual report noted that the circulation was 46,490
That's pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
And their circulation.
It was 10% higher than the previous year.
Wow. Oh, that's huge.
I actually just looked at her lights. I have her 2024 circulation numbers in my speaking presentation I'm doing most often right now. And I know our circulation in 2024 was like 4 mil. It was like almost 4.5 million items circulated.
We have strong circulation for our printed materials. Really strong.
Yeah. Our stats for that are when I go to conferences and talk to other library nerds, when I can tell people that, they're very jealous. That we are well utilized.
But in 1902, it says a general strike of the building trades delayed construction. The $50,000 building. That's a lot.
That's a lot. I'm putting that in the inflation calculator.
Holy cow. The lecture room held 200 people.
Actually, interesting story. So the address 2302 M Street now hosts the Learning Community Center of South Omaha. Yeah. That's kind of nice. That's still people learning there.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I know. I love it.
Adjusted for inflation, that $50,000 would be just under $1 million. $980,655.
I was hoping there would be some fun. There'd be some fun conversation from Mr. Carnegie's secretary. He always has some little fun comments about the designs. They're very snarky.
Wait, he's giving snarky. He's got snarky about the design.
There gets to be a point where Carnegie doesn't respond to the applications anymore. That his secretary, James Bertram, does, and this man has some attitude. Oh, he has some attitude.
He was the sassy secretary back in the day?
Oh, yes.
I love him already.
I will tell you about the University Place one because it's not in the episode. And so if you drive by the University Place one, which was Nebraska Wesleyan, which is on like North 48th, which wasn't a part of Lincoln at the time. It was 5 miles north.
Okay.
Crazy.
Right.
Yeah. So it was like out in the wilderness, you know, and they had to get on the trolley to come into Lincoln and pay a dime to get on that trolley. And so that was very expensive for them. And then they had to pay to use the library because they were out of town. And so they put in an application to have a library so that they had more books than just what the university had.
Right.
So in this application, and it took them forever to get it, they put in they send over the drawings. So this building was only $20,000 was the thing. So he's like, you ask for $20,000, but you do not send any new plans. With practicality, 3 vestibules in a small place a small building like this, does it not seem like any occasion of wasting more space? That building does not have character for a delivery desk and an entry hall. There's too much corridor in the basement.
I hate it when there's too much corridor.
Oh my gosh.
There's still too, and then like months later they send us some new plans. He writes back and he's like, there's still too much corridor. I'm not kidding. I want this to be our new phrase when it's like something's off and we just can't put our finger on it. But like, look, there's just too much corridor in the basement. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. There's too much corridor in the basement. Right. He's just like, and he's like the architect's plans. They're just not responsive to our suggestions. He's just like the sassiest. I can't remember. It's either Broken Bow or Chadron. He tells them that he's like, maybe you need to rethink your plans and change it from like 35 by 56 to 30 by 40. Like he gives these measurements, but they're off by like just a few feet. He's like, it
feels like a power move.
He's like, it's too rectangular. And you're like, ooh. I'm sorry, what?
Somebody was on the spectrum.
Right? It's just like, this does not make any sense. Like, what?
Wow.
So these buildings are not large.
Yeah.
But he's like very detailed in these like drawings.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And like viciously mean about it.
Yes. And so like Broken Bow, it took them 30 years to get like, through the application process. Like
what?
Maybe not through the application, but from like time they were.
Yeah. Well, even that.
Through the time they wanted their library to the time it gets built.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Even that is crazy.
Through like having a temporary library to having a library.
Right.
Just
wow.
You're like mail corresponding with this whole process, like snail mail.
Yeah, not emailing or texting.
Yeah.
You're not WhatsApping about this.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
how did we end up with 69 of them?
How did that even? Yeah,
I know.
that's what I was
The
thinking. I'm like, wow,
dedication for these
they got
people
done.
to build these buildings.
Yeah. Oh,
Amazing.
well, and a good use of funds. I mean,
Yeah.
really, of like to be
True.
able to do this.
Yeah.
And amazing that so you said here in Lincoln, there's still 3
Yeah.
that are still standing. I just did a quick Google search of what they are. Yeah, it looks like so. It looked like at one point maybe there was 5,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then 2 or 3 possibly.
Yes. So there are, so there's 3 of them. 3 are still standing. So one, Union College uses it for, I think, their marketing communications department.
Yeah.
The other one, which is the Union Place one, is a lawyer's office. The other one is on North 27th. It's Matt Talbot, like a homeless kitchen.
Oh,
or,
okay.
like,
Food.
Awesome.
Yeah. Repurpose for community.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite in Lincoln of the 3 that you just mentioned? It's like look and design.
They all look very similar.
Okay.
Like, so our
Okay.
3 all look very
Okay.
similar. So,
Okay. Do you have a favorite one in Nebraska?
I haven't really looked at all of them
Yeah.
in detail. The closest one, I guess, for me growing up would have been the one in Beatrice.
Uh-huh.
It looks a lot like the ones in Lincoln.
Sure.
So I was
Okay.
like, at first I was like, oh, they all look the same. Like,
Yeah.
what was this guy's problem? Like,
Right.
but if you look at like the one in Broken Bow, it definitely looks different.
Okay.
The one in Chadron looks different.
Okay.
So they were designed by somebody.
And will
different.
Chadron have a long, I want to have one application process like Broken Bow?
I don't think their application process was as long.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm just wondering if all the ones who look really similar, if that's from the time when the secretary was answering letters and like just through
think
mere
so.
virtue of him being like, no, make it more rectangular.
Right.
Put more filigree on the top.
Right.
We all want more filigree.
Chadron started theirs in, it sounds like, before 1910. Because the guy that was handling their application was their local. Oh, no, he was the mayor. The Broken Bow one was the funeral director.
Oh.
And I was like,
That's
what?
fascinating.
No, the Chadron one was the mayor. But he did like to brag that they had a gravity system of waterworks, which I figured out one day, which I thought, I was like, what? I don't
What is that?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Why is this a big deal? Okay. Why is this a big deal? And then I felt like a very proud student in class one day because our teacher was talking about things that happened through environmental history. And we got to talking about the dude who invented the sewer systems in Chicago. And then he's talking about how that made a big deal in a city. And I was like light bulb literally went off and I went,
Gotcha.
same time frame as
Yeah.
Carnegie libraries. And literally it was a few sites later.
Yeah.
Carnegie's picture appears and I was like,
Oh, wow.
no, shut up. It was the day after the episode came out. I was like,
my gosh.
oh my gosh.
That's hilarious.
serendipity. And then literally I'm like, that's why it was a big deal that these applications talked about
Yeah.
why they had sewer systems. Because they were like, we're up and coming. We have a sewer system.
Yeah.
So,
Can you imagine
give us
now
money,
that it's
'cause
don't
we're
worry.
cool.
If you think I've got indoor plumbing, I do. Don't worry.
Right?
That's,
So that was why it was a big deal that they needed that. And then, their library opened in 1914.
Okay.
Yeah. So that one didn't take quite as long.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they had, the touring thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
So
yeah.
to kind of wrap up on Carnegie libraries, why, from your perspective, what impact did the Carnegie libraries, you think, have on either libraries or the state of Nebraska? Any insight on that?
I mean, it definitely, put more. More than half. I mean, that gave us more. I mean, that, especially in the smaller towns, that was a good reason to not have them just traveling around. Because when you read these stories, these women had them in their houses. I mean, a lot of them had them and they would rotate them. So, you might have this set of books in your house.
Right.
And you had this set and I had these. So you're like, I'm really interested in this book. Oh, well, that's at Amy's house.
Yeah,
So
you had to go over there.
Amy's house to get that book.
Yeah.
And then in a few weeks, we're going to have a new set of books. And so then you got to figure out who, so it was this whole
big
rotating thing.
exchange. Yeah.
So then, to have this, permanent place where you go and there's these books here.
Yeah.
Like,
And
that's
anybody can use them.
and that's like a big deal.
Yeah.
And to like, oh, what time can I go to Maggie's house and look at what
Oh, she's out of town for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now what am I going to do? So, I mean, that's like a big source of knowledge that anybody can have. It doesn't matter who you are. You can see these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So impactful.
Did you have a library in your town?
No.
Yeah. And where did you go? Or did you...
So, I mean, we had like our school library.
Sure. Okay.
So, good old consolidated schools. But, you know, so we had like the elementary one, and then there was one in the high school.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have like a one outside of that.
Right.
So I didn't really have, we didn't go there. There's one now.
Yeah.
It's ran by my high school history teacher.
That's
fun.
awesome.
So
We'd love to hear it.
So I was like to like send him things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they have one now.
I love it.
So that's great.
Yay.
Yeah.
What's next for the podcast?
Yeah.
So what's next for me? Lots of things. Kind of the future and what's next. I've got some topic leads. This summer is kind of exploring, especially now when school's done. 2 more months. I have a list of goals by my desk. On that list is completing some kind of like on-site interviews, some oral histories.
Oh, yeah.
Attending events, kind of featuring local traditions. About once a month, I highlight upcoming events and festivals that kind of touch on this kind of thing.
Sure.
So people can kind of see like how this stuff is kind of still like out there and people are still celebrating these things. So I want to actually like attend one of these things that I like talk about, maybe partner with them and like show it off. And then like big dream goal is to actually like have like a website where like interactive timeline where
cool.
like these little facts of these events are like all linked and you can be like, oh,
That would be fascinating.
this thing happened here in relation to this thing. Oh my God. So the World's Fair was here and then these library things happened here.
Right.
And then this thing happened here. Oh my God, this was all at the same time.
Then here are the sewer systems.
Yeah. So it's like, holy cow, this all makes sense.
Yeah.
This is how these
the
things...
whole picture.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just
I love
kind of
it.
crazy how like these things all tied together. Like you can see it visually because you like hear these different things, but you're like, oh, this was all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
History is
insane.
kind of like that for a lot of people, I think,
Yeah.
me included.
Yeah.
It's
So
like,
I'm just
whoa.
like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much that in a nutshell. There's a conference that's held by the Great Plains Center that's down the street. I've been going as just like kind of a groupie fan for the last few years. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. And so for the first time, they're going to do like a poster session. And
Awesome.
I like submitted a proposal.
Yay.
So I get to share the podcast with everybody that's
That's so
attending.
cool.
I love it.
And there's going to be a podcast that actually launches on one of the days of the conference. So I'm going to kind of tie it into the theme because episodes launch on the first and third Wednesdays of every month.
Okay.
So one of their themes is environmental futures.
Okay.
So it'll kind of, they've got like 4 like kind of interlacing themes.
Sure.
But I was like, I'm going to kind of like try to talk about one of those kind of themes. So that's kind of what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And then graduation comes up and
Amazing.
and then I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the rest of the summer brings and what the next season brings. I don't know if there'll be a 3rd season this summer. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
Or if I just like take a break and 3rd starts in the fall. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But you got some good topics, it sounds like.
I
Things to kind of explore.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, do you have some books that you would recommend to people who kind of want to lean into this topic?
Yeah. So of course, a lot of my research comes from like actual like academic journals. I know the boring stuff. That's why I take it so you don't have to read it.
We appreciate it.
But like I want people to like listen to an episode. They're short. 10 to 20 minutes. Like I want you to get something out of it, but then like dive into it and like learn more about it.
Sure.
But there's books about all of these things. So like go to your library and like wink wink.
Yeah.
Start reading about these things. So yeah, I did pick out some books. So one is called In Other Networks. It's a radical technology source book. It's written by Lori Emerson. So when I was researching the episode that came out in January about barbed wire telephones, Barbed Wire is one of my most popular episodes. I have 2 of them now because I love it. It's crazy, but it's also like I don't. Yeah, it's a thing. So I was researching this whole thing, and she has so much great information. There's some guys that have like an art installation about them, and so she like did some collaboration with them, and then she like has a whole chapter in this book about like old technology.
Fascinating. I love it.
So I was blown away by her details of describing how these things work, and I was like, this is amazing. So that was great for this. I already talked about the book about the Carnegie libraries all over Nebraska. So that was a great source. And then another one that came out early February is about, he was a frontier marshal. His name's Bass Reeves. So it's a book by Art Burton, who is, as I found, an expert on Bass Reeves. He's most likely, and I've heard this in so many ways, the inspiration for the Lone Ranger.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Like there's like multiple ties of why they think he is the inspiration, like eerily. So
I love
there
it.
you go.
I was going to say the A State of Readers and Black Gun, Silver Star, The Life and Legend of Frontier Marshal Bass Reeves. Those 2 we do have in our collection. I was just looking for the other one, the In Other Networks, a Radical Technology Sourcebook. We don't have that in our collection. I looked to see if it was something we could acquire. It looks like we would have trouble with it. But good news, guys, it's available on WorldCat, so you can do an interlibrary loan for it.
Love it.
If you would like to get your little hands on it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, Maggie, is there any book that like just top of mind that you want to plug? I have a couple. Well, I was just thinking, like, I mean, obviously you love your Willa Cather, so I thought for sure you always get that. I always give you the Cather.
You let me win when it comes to Willa Cather. I appreciate that.
We do. We have a love for it. But have you read The Antidote?
No.
Oh, yeah. You would like it.
So
it's
good.
really good.
It's fiction, and she also just won the One Book One Nebraska by Karen Russell, and it's about and she did a ton of research in Nebraska about it. So it is about the Dust Bowl, and apparently there was a lot of flooding over in western Nebraska. So it is a phenomenal book about that kind of premise around a prairie witch. It's so cool.
It is really amazing.
This book. So
really good audiobook.
Yeah, for sure. So I would, when you were talking about, I'm pretty sure that was pre-20. See, this is when I don't know my dates in history and Dust Bowls. Like
Later.
Okay. So I was like, well,
is that my realm?
Yeah. And the other one, it is Willa Cather adjacent, and I know that we have it, is Cather's Kitchens, Food Waste and Literature and Life. Yeah, and that is by Roger and Linda Welsh. Because I do like to think about, like, Nicole, I have a huge love of culinary, stories.
That's always your lens that you're going to.
Very much my lens. And so I love thinking about, like, what was being eaten during that time, or what was like being grown, like what was it? And so this was a fascinating book. So those are my 2 that I would plug immediately.
I, looking at our catalog, was trying to think of like, well, what would I pull with this? So I did find we have The Man Who Loved Libraries, the story of Andrew Carnegie, by Andrew Larson. There's also another book in here that I really do enjoy the title. I'm going to tell you guys, I don't know that much about it, but this is great. It's called Meet You in Hell. Andrew Carnegie, Henry Clay Frick, and the Bitter Partnership That Transformed America by Les Standiford.
Right.
I also just want to say Meet You in Hell.
And the other one that I would plug is Susan Orlean's The Library Book.
Oh, the library book.
If you've not read it, I would listen to it. It is so good. She also dives into just every aspect of library history, just as libraries, like library history, but also the departments and how they're run and the problems they've had over the years. But it all starts with the Los Angeles Public Library fire.
Just massive
fire. And that was so hot that the firefighters, was it
like a clear flame. It was like the flame was so hot that it was actually like invisible.
Wow. And then I actually think it was something, I think one of them didn't even think it was actually possible to for
It was like in theory, but it wasn't. Yeah, it had actually been seen.
Yeah,
something
exactly.
Like that.
Wow.
So they dig into the story of this and who started it. Was it arson? So it starts out as a mystery, but then she dives deeply into library history, which was fascinating.
It's a great book.
Yeah. Yeah, highly recommend. Yeah.
I'd also recommend Valentino's Buffet. That's the other thing I would recommend from this episode.
Hey, Valentino's, could you sponsor this?
Valentino's.
Could you just deliver soon?
I'm willing to wear some merch. If you've got it.
Get a coupon?
I don't even need a coupon. I'm willing to pay full price. I know what I'm getting.
Awesome.
To plug real quick, not to pivot too hard, I just want to plug our query of the month, which listeners, again, we have a departure from previous years where we used to ask a query of the week. Now we ask a query of the month to give people more time to get us their answers. And this month we're asking, what are you planting in your garden? Are you growing tomatoes to make your own Valentino's pizza sauce? Are you growing your own cheese plants to make cheese for the Valentino's pizza?
Yes.
Are you growing lettuce for the salad bar?
I want flowers.
The tools of the industry are in your hands.
To attract all the birds.
I'm going to open up my own Valentino's buffet in Omaha. It's coming back.
I think this is going to be your passion project.
I think we're about to leave the studio, and I'm going to go see if this Valentino's buffet is still open. And listeners, I want you to know, Amy, this entire time I'm saying, like, we're going to get Valentino's pizza after this. The look on her face is she's covering it up so well with like, oh, yeah, sure. And it's this of like, what? What? No, she's not want to eat at the Valentino's buffet, but
I would totally do that.
Let's go find out.
I will join your buffet chaos.
Let's go on a buffet trip.
Let's do it.
Nicole, thank you so much for hosting us.
Thank you so much.
This was
huge
amazing.
Pleasure meeting you, and thank you for being willing to have a podcast with us.
Yeah.
We can't wait to hear more. We can't wait to hear the rest of your episodes. So, that is my last question.
Yeah.
If listeners want to find out more, how they find you?
I mean, if they can find you, they can find me probably.
Okay.
But yeah, I tested this. If you literally just search "Rooted in the Plains" podcast.
You're number one.
You'll find
number one, baby.
Yeah. I'm kind of all over.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Okay.
You can search for it on Instagram too, Rooted in the Plains. There's a link in the bio there too. There's all the visuals there. So I post a visual that goes with each podcast.
Okay.
You can see pictures of the people and the places and the things that go with each of the episodes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then what platforms, if they want to find the actual podcast, are you on like
Spotify?
Kind of everything?
Yep.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
Yay.
Apple, all the places.
Love it.
This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Every book, resource, or thing that we mentioned that we can link to on the internet can be found in list form in our episode description. So if you missed something we talked about, check out that list.
The Book Drop is produced by Omaha Public Library. Our theme music is Trapped in Amber, courtesy of the band Lucid Fugue. Don't forget to subscribe to The Book Drop on your favorite podcast app and like and follow Omaha Public Library on social media.